Hello all. The topic on the list and also super important is how to figure out the direction on any given chart and multiple time frames. They go hand in hand. I'll discuss this as we go on with the video. All the topics that are going to be covered from now on are extremely important. They're related to each other, and all of them are going to be a part of the trading plan that we are going to be following. All of us, me, you, whoever's going through these videos, all of us are going to be following that specific trading plan. Now, keep in mind that trading is not just A plus B is equal to C or 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's a combination of a lot of things that, when put together, becomes a trading plan. And the goal is to repeat the same thing over and over again until we've mastered it. So let's dig right into it. Now, determining the direction on a chart, as we've discussed previously, that there are three different states of a market at any given time, ranges, trends, and channels. In order to figure out the direction of any given chart, you've got to first establish what state that chart is in at that moment. Now, a very major problem with the newbies or anyone in the industry that's referred to as retail is that once you come in front of the charts, you see the price moving, you want to be in on the action right there, right then. We also call it FOMO, fear of missing out. We also call it impatience. We name it a lot of things, but the major problem is that you don't want to be patient. You just want to get in on the action, and that's not how it works. You've got to put in a lot of work before you're ready to take your trade. You've got to check a lot of pairs one by one, and we'll discuss about all of that as we move forward into the course. This is just the beginning of the advanced stuff, so bear with me. And please, a very important thing is that you keep practicing what we're talking about here, what we are showing you. It's not that you've been through the video and you know all of it all of a sudden. No, that's not how it works. What you got to do is what you see here, you've got to practice it again and again and again until your eye becomes habitual to it, until you can, in an instant when you look at the chart, you can tell that, oh, this is what I'm looking for. So, and that comes with a lot of practice and a lot of hard work. Okay, so getting right into the topic, first of all, let's talk about multiple time frames. What do I mean with the multiple time frames? One of the videos previously, we've talked about how price shows differently on different time frames, and that's exactly what we're going to incorporate into multiple time frames. Moving forward, I want you guys to pick two time frames. Okay, for now, um, confined to this video, I need you guys to pick two time frames. I want you to establish what time frames you like to trade. As we've discussed previously, that there are multiple time frames available: weekly, daily, 240, 60, blah blah blah. Now, the purpose of choosing two time frames is one of them is going to be your bigger time frame. We can also call it the bigger sharks. We can also call it the big boy. We can also call it the market maker or whatever. Um, let's say you choose 60 minutes as your big boy or big shark or bigger time frame, or 240. You establish that you're a 240 trader as your uh, bigger time frame, or daily. It doesn't matter. It's your own choice. I personally do 60 as my higher time frame, because if you're day trading, right, you want to be able to catch one or two trades. That's one trade in London session, one trade in New York session. That's the goal. Doesn't happen like that, to be honest. But going further lower a time frame than 60, it becomes too quick, too swift. Really not easy to judge. So you want to find the middle ground. Because you're a day trader, you want to be able to trade every day, but on the other hand, you also want to be patient and looking at enough data for before you make your decision. So let's say you're a 60-minute trader as your big boy trader. So The second time frame that you're going to look at is going to be one time frame lower. And that is where you're going to be looking for your pullbacks to get in. As we've discussed in the previous video, that we're going to be focusing on trend pullback trades. So if 60 is your uptrend, big boy, big shark, whatever, 15 minutes is where you're going to be looking for your pullbacks to join in. If you establish that you're a 240 trader, you want to take more time before getting in on a trade, then you're going to be reading your pullbacks on 60 minutes. And again, if you're a daily trader, your one time frame lower is going to be your trading time frame, that we may call it, right? Now, once you guys have established what time frame you're going to be looking at, throw the time frames out of the window. What I'm going to show you now, it's applicable on any time frame, starting from yearly, coming down to 1 second. It's applicable on every single time frame. So how do you determine the direction on a chart? First of all, coming back to the basics, we have what you're looking for on a chart is an important area. Okay, focus. Okay, an important area on any given chart that breaks for either a higher high or a lower low. Yeah, either a higher high or a lower low. An important area on any given chart that breaks for either. Oh, you guys could have told me that the spellings of either were wrong. I'm sorry, you can't. I know. Okay, let me just fix this right here. Okay, an important area on any given chart that breaks for either a higher high or a lower low. What are those important areas? And the answer is going to come from one of the videos that we've been through in our early basic days. It's support equals resistance, or supply and demand. Okay, so these are the important areas that you're going to be looking for on any given chart that break in on either of the sides. Okay, they either make a higher high or they make a lower low. And keep in mind that we're talking about your higher time frame for determining the important areas and their breakouts. Okay, keep that in mind. We're talking about your higher time frame. Let's draw a little bit of theory here, and then we'll move to the charts so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay, now let's see. Let's say that the price is making higher highs and higher lows. Let me just get another tool. The drawings are really squiggly here. Okay, the price is making higher highs, higher lows, unable to make a higher high, unable to make a lower low, makes a higher high. Okay, now obviously I'm pretty sure all of you, a lot of you know that we call this a breakout, right? Now this is your big boy time frame, your higher time frame, this. And once you've figured out the direction on your big boy time frame, you're going to go lower one time frame on 15 minutes per se. If you're talking about 60 minutes, you're going to go lower on 15 minutes and you're going to start to read the pullbacks so that you can join in with the direction that you've determined. It's as simple as this for now. It's as simple as this for now. There's obviously a few more things to it that we're going to discuss in a little bit. But uh, how you determine the direction on a chart is you look for an important area that's been holding for a while, let's say twice or three times. It could be a channel, it could be a range, it could very well be a trend, doesn't matter. What you want to see is an area where the price holds and then goes through, right? That's it. Now let's go over to the charts. Let's discuss this. And then I'm going to bring to your attention a very important piece. A very important piece. Okay. Now, let's take a look at this. 60 minutes up there. Let me just delete all of these drawings here. Okay. In fact, let's not do this right now because it's coming from a downtrend, right? As we've seen that trend is your friend and blah blah blah. So let's come back to this later. In the same video, we're gonna come back to this. Okay. Let's take a look at this here. Okay, price comes down, holds, goes up, holds again, goes up, comes down, holds again, holds, breaks through. This area where the price breaks through, it becomes important. What you want to do is you want to see for the pullback on the lower time frame. We're not going to go to the lower time frame right now in this video. No, we're just going to be focusing on what we're going to call new direction on any chart. So as you can see, the price was unable to make lower lows here, 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 and then it breaks through, closes below, puts in a lower low. Now, the important thing to remember, and I'm going to ask you guys a little question here. And before you look for the answer in this video, I want you guys to take a moment, pause the video, and give me the answer to what I'm going to ask you right now. Okay, so we know that this is the support, the price has been holding it, and then it breaks through this. Now, let's say if, I'm going to go into the replay mode and forget the fact that it continued to make lower lows. Imagine for a moment that as it has closed below, afterwards the price starts to come up. Okay, the price, it starts to come up and comes back inside this, where this move started from, right? Imagine for a minute that it comes back into that support that was holding, should have acted as a resistance, but it did not. It came back inside, and now as this was a support before, this is a fake out. This should be a support again. Is it true or is it false? Take a moment and answer the question, and then come back to the video. I'll give you the answer. Okay, so if you said that this is a fake out and the price is going to go back up again, no, you're wrong. What you got to keep in mind and try and figure out is, I understand that this has broken through the support and it should act as a resistance, but even if it does not, what you want to see is where this down move began from. This piece is very important, and a lot of people do not talk about this. A lot of people do not bring it into anyone's notice because they probably don't know. But as we've discussed before, support and resistance are not specific prices. They are areas of interest. So what I need you to understand here is the sell move that started the breakout started from up there. Now, as long as you're under this, it does not matter if you come inside this support again. As long as you're under this, you cannot look to buy. This is very important. If you're confused about what I'm saying, I'm going to give you a couple more examples, maybe to the buy side, and we'll see how it goes. But if you're still confused, Ask us questions. We'll answer the questions. Share your examples with us. We'll tell you if you're looking at it the right way or the wrong way. Okay, once again, let's clear all of this. I'm going to repeat it one more time on the same example because it's really, really important. Support, 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 price goes through. This should act as a resistance, well and good. If it does, fair enough. If it comes back inside and then you think that this area is going to act as a support again, you're wrong. As long as you're under this, where the movement of the price downward started from before it broke, you can clearly see all of it is one move, right? It started here, there are no pullbacks, went all the way down to there before it started to pull back on the lower time frame. So as long as you're under this, you're not looking to buy at all. It does not matter if it comes inside, starts to hold, doesn't matter. All you're going to be looking to do is sell it. If it comes back very strong, you're afraid of it, understandable, do not trade it. But you're not looking to buy as long as it's under where this sell move started from, right? Let's take a look at another example, maybe to the buy side. And then we'll go to that example that I said let's not talk about right now. We'll go to that also. Okay, let's take a look at here. Market ranges for a little while, holds sideways, as that's what the range is, breaks through. Now it's clear that the direction of the markets is upside. But if it comes back inside this, that should have acted as a support, comes back inside now, should act as a resistance, that's not how it's going to be. As long as you're above this, you are not looking to sell, right? So at times what happens is, if not in this case, but we've discussed it in the previous video, that the direction is upwards, it'll put in a support, it'll break that support, and it'll turn you to the sell side. I'll show you the example that's coming from a higher time frame, but let's talk about theory first. It'll break the support, it'll turn you to the sell side because you've forgotten that the move upward started down here. You start to look to sell, the price may perform a little bit, but then of course later on he's going to come back. If you're unable to break through him, he's going to come back and take the prices higher again. It's just like this scenario. Now, as I told you guys to try and practice how the price would look different on different time frames. If this move looks like this on 60, on 240 it's going to look something like this, right? Now on this time frame, if all of this is one move on 240, if all of this is one move on 240, we know that the move started from down here, but we can clearly see that, oh, it's breaking our support here. It has turned into a sell. When in actuality, as long as you're above this, it's always a buy. It's not a sell. If you break through this, that's a different story. And that's what we're going to discuss now as we move forward. So I'm going to get out of the replay mode. Now take a look at here. I'm going to remove these drawings. I'm going to give you this example and then we will call it a video. Okay, so the price makes a lower low, pulls back, makes a lower low, pulls back, doesn't make a lower low, still it's in his playing field because all of this is one move. The price started to go down from there. The move started from up here, came all the way down to here. Again, very important. Let me clear the brushes. This started here, came all the way down to here. It's all one move of sell. As long as you're below this, doesn't matter how strongly this comes up, you're not looking to buy. It's still a sell. So do we go above where the move started from? No, we do not. The sell continues. The price holds for a little bit. Now this move that puts in a new lower low starts from here. right? The buys start to pick up pace. It puts in a lower low, starts to range, tries to make a lower low, cannot make a lower low, turns around. But do you buy it in here? I personally cannot. Why? The answer is because this move that made a lower low, it started from up there. As long as you're under this, you're not looking to buy. You're only looking to sell if the price action allows you to sell. Now, in this scenario, what happens is that the price ranges for a little while and breaks through the range, still inside this area, gets up to that area. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Gets up to that area, tries to sell, cannot sell, goes through. New buyer introduced into the market on this time frame. Now, as you've gone through the last bit of sell that was continuing to make lower highs and lower lows, and all of a sudden you're seeing a higher low and a higher high, any pullbacks that come, the scenario that we've been talking about of late of breaking the resistance and turning into a support or whatnot. Now, take a look at here. After this buy comes up, it goes all the way up to there. As long as you're inside these areas, because you've gone through the sell, the seller is no longer in control. It's the buyer who's in control now. As long as you're between these areas, you're not looking to sell, no matter how hard the sell comes down. It does go through the support also, turning people to the sell side, bringing in sellers to the market. Why? So that the buyer that has initially shown up now is going to make money. And you see, he does make money, still making money. Anyway, practice what I've told you today. If you are unable to understand, obviously it's going to take some time because these things could probably be new for a lot of you. If it does not, if you're unable to understand it, please ask us. That's why there is a group for you to ask. Anyway, pretty much about it. See you guys in the next video. Cheers.